Alright, welcome back to SOS. I'm Stas RBA.
Zip.
And today we have from Stanford Outdoor and Supply is the mobility kit. This is the one of their medical kits. They have a 3 set of medical kits now. They have a whole bunch of medical kits. This is the Bug Out Survival Supplements Boss, is what it stands for. And this is the 12-piece break and sprain kit. And I'll let Sippy take it from here.
Take it away. Well, let's just dig right into this thing. And it says we got 24-inch padded aluminum splint, 2 padded aluminum finger splints, triangular bandage, 2-inch elastic bandage, 4-inch elastic bandage, 2 1-inch cloth tape, instant cold pack, and trauma shears. Sorry, these are not included. So we're just going to go ahead and cut away. And there we go.
I'm glad you didn't
Oh, look at that. Fancy pink.
tear that bag to pieces. What?
That caught my eye right away. That's awesome.
Say what?
Fancy pink.
Did they just assume this kit was for a lady?
Hey, well, this is good visibility right here so you don't lose them. Because it could be at nighttime, you know, when stuff like this happens.
And what would crack me up, like if some like super hardcore tough guy gets a kit like this and then starts crying.
Oh, yeah. Now you can get a can of spray paint. Help soothe the masculinity. Alright, so I love doing kits like this. It's not your typical first aid, immobility, all that fun bone breakage, blood squirting, intense. I just like to pull everything right out. I know BA does one piece at a time for the suspense, but I don't do that.
Yeah, just dump it all out. That's
how I roll.
That's cool.
Alright, so first we'll start off with the little basics here. It's good that they have a instant cold pack because, you know, the chances of somebody, if they end up getting a sprain, especially on their ankles, it's good to apply this on their sprain if you see how swollen it's getting. Or for your more intense situations, like say somebody broke their tibia and you see that bone popping through and they see it and they start going into shock, it's good to put this thing either on their forehead or underneath their neck. Help keep them from going into shock. So that's good. And then next we just have your little ACE bandages. These are good for compression, good for keeping stuff out of open areas, and just for sprains itself. Like we said, keep the compression on, help keep the swelling down. Good for legs, good for your hands, or adult children sizes. So
nice.
There you go. You got a couple of compression cordages right there. Or especially if, say, they're bleeding out and you're having a hard time keeping pressure on and you don't have a tourniquet, that's a good thing to wrap around them to help keep that pressure on. So then we just have your basic medical tape to help wrap around whatever it is that you need. Like you can do even little sticks. Say if someone broke their finger and you don't have these fancy little doodads, you can actually just wrap 2 little pieces of stick and just wrap it around.
And those are the flexible ones as well. They bend around, right? Those are bendable, I believe.
Yes, these ones are. So this is just to help kind of keep any type of security around it, or if you have like gauze and so forth. There's a lot of uses for tape.
We did a mobility video that not too many people watched. It's like 3 years old.
It's a wee bit old.
It's a wee bit old, but there's a lot of comedy in the video, actually.
So triangular bandages are neat. I've actually seen somebody stabilize a woman with a dislocated shoulder with this. And the first time I used it was on a prisoner at a correctional facility. He got lacerated up pretty good on his arm, and we were the ones that got to help mend him up and everything. So your typical triangular bandage is folded as such, and basically what you end up doing is You can just tie a knot, and it just makes a sling.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nice.
usually I like to have two, so when you have the arm inside of one, then you wrap the other around their
reach
chest.
around the back. Yeah.
Yep, it goes around their chest and arm just to keep it more close, because when you're immobilizing a broken bone, it's so important to make sure that they don't move it, because those bones can definitely either splinter and rub and lacerate blood vessels in there. So that's also why you have safety pins, is you can pin it to that person's shirt.
And yeah, you can also avoid tying knots too, just by using those safety pins.
Mm-hmm. So that's good. Triangular bandages are awesome. And of course, as BA would add, it's good for straining water.
Yeah, it is.
So there you go.
You could use it for a shimab, like a bandana or something like that. So.
But yep, or you can just, what we do too is you just take it and on in and just roll it up, and just, you can make a tourniquet out of this as well.
Tie up a buddy.
Yep.
Gag someone.
Gag someone.
Get tired of hearing their mouth. Anyway.
Alright, so the little finger splints, these things are really cool. These are very movable. So you just put your fingers down and you just place it on there, and this is where your tape's going to come in handy, and you're just going to wrap the tape around. You can take your shears and cut it if you want to, probably, because this will end up snagging on stuff and ends up moving, but you just tape it up, and then if you want to, just tape around the whole hand and put some tape on their mouth, like Bea was saying, if they won't shut up and just suck it up and take it.
Yeah.
It's just your finger, be quiet. So those are nice. You can also use them as a splint for the wrist. Somebody jacks their wrist up. We try and put the limb back into a neutral position, but if you're not trained on it, don't do it, because you can cause more damage. But usually we try and align it up and then just tape around it. You can do the tape, or the ACE bandage would work good. As long as it's on there nice and solid, it'll keep from any extended damage.
And mobility, this, I remember us talking about this before, and SHTF, Tiawaki, and dealing with mobility and people, breaking a leg, jacking a leg up. And there's situations where a leg gets jacked up, and in order to get them mobile so that you can move, your buddy's hurt, you're going to have to do something to wrap somebody up with sticks and what you got. So it's good to know this type of stuff, and most people avoid learning things like this, and that's what's very sad about. But it's great that somebody's coming up with, here's a kit just for your mobility. Not everything you need, but because you get one of these. And I was just sitting here looking at this, and what is wrong with this kit? Because we've already covered this, this, and this, and this. But we're getting to this.
Yeah, we're getting to the longer one.
There's one of them. Why isn't there like two? I would put at least two in this.
I would probably like to have two, but I mean, if somebody needs two, there's just no way you're going to be able to carry them if it's their legs. Or. But it is good to have, just what if they break an arm and a leg?
It's a possibility. The whole side, the whole side gets jacked up.
But with the arm, at least you can use their shirt as a sling. You can just use a triangular bandage, and I would keep that one for the leg. But, this is just for a fracture maybe on your tibia that's, anything below your knee, or maybe your kneecap got tore up. Anything to do with the femur, you better have a traction splint, or pray that you can get airlifted or taken to a hospital ASAP, because those are not good. Those you definitely leave into the hands of professionals, so they can put that that bone back in to their thigh, basically. Well, here, you go ahead and open that. So, an important thing to remember when you're applying a splint, any type of immobility device, is to check for PMS, not PMS women. PMS, we stand for pulse motor sensation. So it's very important that you're not putting that not tourniquet, but the like compression bandage on so tight you cut off their circulation, and well, shoot, we're sorry, you just lost your ankle or your hand. So you just flatten this out, and it's kind of like I showed you for the fingers. So if it's for the leg, you can go ahead, just keep it straight. This is kind of a little bit thinner than I'm used to, so for your arm, I don't think you really don't need to bend it in the middle. You could, if their arm is small enough, like for a children.
Well, you've done for me. If you're not doing just a straight line,
you can bend it. Like
you can bend it over. Remember, you showed me this, where you had the arm like this,
yes,
and you bent it over. Well, you did something like that.
Well, you stick it up here. So, say you have somebody, it's their arms probably.
Because we were trying to wrap up an arm to keep me from bending the arm down. Remember that?
That's where I'm going. You're getting too excited. Let the medic speak.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so what we end up doing first is you coil this up, give them a nice grip to hold on to. Now we got our extra, right? So it's going to get up here. You can curl it around, and they're bringing it into their chest. And that's when you want to take your triangular bandage and you're going to slip it over so it's hanging up against their neck. And that's what you do for your arm splint. Now for the leg splint, you're just going to basically lay it down, lay the leg down, and you're going to wrap around it to keep it straight. So it's very important. Check your pulses, check your radial pulse, ask the person to wiggle their fingers, and you know, you can check their color, make sure they're not swelling up, and ask them if it's more painful, because anytime you do immobility, after you're done getting your splint on, give them a few minutes for it to relax. It shouldn't be more painful. So just always make sure that they're wiggling their fingers or their toes, and you're checking their pulses, and you're gonna just kind of lightly, just kind of pinch. You can pinch them if you don't like them, but just kind of poke them. Be like, can you feel that? You feel that sensation? Yes. Hopefully it's yes. So those are just the 3 easy keys to help keep somebody from losing a limb.
And all the people out there who roll their ankle, it was one wing goes on the left and one wing goes on the right, like the foot goes in the middle.
Yeah, well, and the nice thing too is they give you little mini instructions right here on different ways you can do it.
So it was like this.
You can do it, that's right, on either side of the leg, one wing on one side, one wing on the other side, which is nice to have 2 of these. And I mean,
here's a child's shoe.
You're going to do a child's shoe?
Why not?
Go for it.
I don't care. No one out there judging me, right?
Right.
So the child's shoe would be in the middle. It goes kind of like this. Ankles here. And this will go around, and you would wrap that.
Yeah, you take your tape. You wrap it around a couple of times. You don't need to wrap up the whole area.
It would look something like this. Just
wrap it in 2 spots. About 4 inches from each other.
I'm just going to roll this up,
and that'll help. Now they said that they made some kind of C-collar here.
Yeah, that's for the neck.
You got to be very careful with C-collars, because you have to have 2 people for this to work properly, because you can accidentally paralyze somebody if you go jerking their neck around. So that's something in another video all in itself.
Yeah.
That you should, if it's something you want to learn, talk to your local fire department, or I guess see if there's a legit video out there. But you just basically say, if someone's complaining of neck pain, keep their neck looking straight on in a neutral position, and just help them to not move their neck around so much. Anything, just have them lay down and just lay flat. And that's pretty much it for the immobile kit. So it's nice they give you a little picture guide of how to wrap it up, where to place it, And like I said, I have better instructions with the triangular bandage in our other videos.
Yeah.
As well. So
you go into more detail in the mobilization video.
Yes. So for mobilization, I mean, the only thing I would add is just maybe some type of painkiller for them, some more cold packs, and just another one of these. But hey, for, you know, just a simple bare necessity kit, it's pretty good.
And it was the cheapest out of all the kits. I'm not going to say how much it is. You can go look it up yourself. Because every time I say, someone always gets mad. Oh, well, okay. Well, I won't tell you then.
But I can tell you that
the website link will be below if you want to go check it out.
Yeah, these pieces would probably be your most expensive. Everything else, yeah.
Everyone gets mad at me when I start talking about prices. Well, it costs this much. I hate you, PA. Why would you tell me that?
But yes.
There you go.
And we know your shears cut away the clothing.
Just change the color. No, that's actually hot paint. That's not like paint.
Hey, it's important to see what you're doing, right?
That is hot pink. All right. It's like that pink lighter nobody took from you at work. All right. That's all we got. You got anything else?
Nope.
You sure?
That's it.
All right. Okay. God bless you guys. And take care. Adios.